something and then like tilt my head, it's gonna fall over, which I really don't like. So I always love to have two, oops, just in case. Of course, because I love Chanel, I do also have my Chanel Coco Mademoiselle perfume. This is literally my recent favorite. I went to Ulta the other day, like a couple weeks ago technically, and I was just browsing through and I was going through their selections and I was debating which one I should get, because the one that I had before this was the Gucci like gardenia, but the green bottle. That one smells amazing, but it's more very spring-like and very summery, versus this one, it's a lot more subtle. Like I like to just do a little spritz on my wrists and then I just rub it on my behind my lower ears right here, and sometimes maybe I'll just do one spray, I'll walk through, and this smell just lasts forever. Like if you guys know anything about perfume, I would just say like I highly recommend you to invest in a really good perfume, even though sometimes they can cost you anywhere between $100 to $200. It's just that body mist and like lower end perfumes don't last as long, and when you spray them they typically fade out, but with higher end perfumes or colognes or whatever it is that you use, like they last about 3 to 4 days. Like even my clothes, like my coats and stuff, like when I wear them, it still smells like my perfume, which I really love. Okay, I do also have this Louis Vuitton wallet. It's the bigger one, but I don't really use this at the moment. The one that I am using currently is my little mini one that I bought recently, and it's kind of like the little key pouch. I forgot the name of it, but let me go grab it so that I can show you guys what I'm talking about. So this is where I keep my stuff, and this is actually what I use for my key. So this is my key pouch. And then for this one, this is where I keep all of my cards and everything. So I recently bought this as like a little birthday present to myself, and I use this little guy so much, like even the little, oh no, the little glue parts like coming up and stuff. But I've only had this thing, I want to say probably only for a few months, but that just shows you how much I use this. I also kind of throw it around and stuff like that, but I like this because it's kind of like a little mini wallet without me having to really try much to like put stuff into a purse and lug it around and carry it around. Last but not least, it's just this other pouch that does come inside of the tote bag. In here, I typically stuff just random things, but for now in here, I have this Asian medicated oil, just because a lot of people at work right now, they're sick, and I'm kind of like the office mom. So I carry this around, and if people have sinus problems, if they're hurting somewhere, I just tell them like, hey, take some of this and like rub it into your skin where you're hurting, and it acts like a hot cool type of thing. Or you can put this on your nose, opens up your sinuses, and it's amazing. It's kind of like Vicks, but a lot stronger and a lot better. And then I just have some of like La Mer samples and stuff that I keep. I don't like to carry my full size La Mers just because they're a lot bigger. So I keep the sample ones that I get whenever I do buy my La Mer packets, and it's just nice to have these. So I do keep these on hand, and I do refill them with my other ones that I have whenever I do run out, because it's nice. Like sometimes if my face is dry, I'll have eye cream, I have face cream, and then I have this body oil as well. And then other than that, I just have a little baby mini lotion for right now. It's winter time, so my hands are like cracking. I wash my hands so much as well too. So it's just very nice to have this with me at all times. Onto the bag. I will say some pros and cons about this. One thing that I love, like I told you guys, it's the fact that the size, it's really nice because it's not too big, it's not too, like for example, I have the Speedy, I believe in the size 30, and the Speedy was a present gifted to me for Christmas by my aunt, but it's a little bit too big for me, and I never really know what to stuff in there. But because this is a tote bag, it's a lot easier, and I can put it over my shoulder without having just to like hold it on my wrist or my hand, where my hand will get tired. But with this, I can just hold it, put it over my shoulder, and it just sits very nicely. So I do love the way that this looks on me a lot more than just like all of my other bags. And then this is just very like elegant. It's very nice. Either dress it up or dress it down. It just kind of depends. Like it's just a very nice, simple like hobo bag, but without having to be so hobo in a way. I don't know if that makes sense. The only thing that it kind of bothers me sometimes is there's these little buttons like so, where you can close the bag. But for me, I think when I put so much stuff in here, the bag is always like opening on its own. So technically these buttons like don't really do much, to be honest. And then as you can see, it's a very just like sloppy bag, which again, I don't mind that, but sometimes because it is very sloppy, a lot of my things do typically tend to fall out. And again, it's not a big problem. It's just whenever I'm in my car or something that things will fall out. But inside you just have like, I have a lot of dog hair, but just this little fabric quilting. You just have like the chip inside, and you also have like another zipper right here as well. And then the zipper part opens and you can just put whatever in here if you'd like. When I first saw this tote bag, I have to be honest, I was not a fan. Like I didn't think I would like this bag because I'm a huge fan of the Chanel Classic Flap, which I am on the market for. And I've been going down the vintage route, but I've also been looking at some, you know, authentic ones as well too. But it is really pricey right now, just with everything going on and inflation. It's not a good time to be spending your money, I don't think. But, you know, a girl loves to shop. And I am lucky enough to, you know, be able to save my money. I have a really good job, so I'm just very, 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 very grateful. And yeah, you know, like I always have like a mixed feeling type of thing with like designer and like a love-hate thing, just because of how much they can cost and how much the money could be used towards like investments or something else. But I do really love just the history and the look of it. And at the same time, I also like, I'm very bougie. I'm also very materialistic, and I know that. I come across like just very out there and very extra. I love my nails done. I love my hair done. I love wearing my makeup, and I just like to be very well put together, and I just like nice things. But that doesn't mean that, you know, sometimes you can read a person and it might come off as like, oh, they're just very like spoiled, or they're very rich and rude and whatever. So I don't want anyone to think of me in that way, because that's not what I'm going for. I just like nice things, and usually I like nice things on a budget as well too. But yeah, I wasn't a fan when I first saw this bag, and it kind of grew on me, to be honest. Like when I got this bag, it was a present, to be honest, and I didn't really know whether or not I would end up liking it. And over time, it's just grown on me. I still don't really know how to like use this little section of like where the bag can like go in, like I've seen some other people do, but that's not a big deal. But I just love how neatly, nicely this bag is. And then also one thing to point out as well too is the lambskin on this tote bag. It's not like your typical leather on this bag. It's not the same as like the Chanel Classic Flap of like that super soft lambskin type of leather. I feel like this has been, I don't know what the process is called, but I saw someone in a video, they called it like a metallic leather. But it's where it's been processed, and it's a lot more durable, so it doesn't really get damaged as much. But I don't know, like I don't really know if I kind of like that like plasticky type of, you know, type of feeling almost, where it is a lot more durable, don't get me wrong, but I just love the look of the classic lambskin because it's just classic, right? And it's really, really pretty. But let me know, I don't know, let me know what you guys think. You know, Christmas is coming up, and I just want to get your opinions, show you guys what's in my bag, just because this is a new channel of mine. I just also want to say that this channel, honestly, it's dedicated to the ones that already know me, and basically I've had a channel before, and so now I'm just making a channel based on just all of my designer bags and reviewing everything as well. So I love to get things on affordable deals and prices and stuff. So if you know that, then you know where to get the bag. But if you don't, then of course feel free to message me on Instagram. I am typically on there all the time. I don't really post as much, but I try to look at my messages a lot more. So if you have any questions, feel free to message me on there. It's just easier to get in contact with me than it is to like leave a comment on my YouTube, because sometimes I feel like YouTube, the comments just get so drowned out, and there could be a good mixture of like good, bad, spam, bots, and I don't really look at my comments as much as I should, but I know that I should try to do a lot better of just responding to people, replying to people. So if you made it this far, I just want to say thank you so much for watching this video. On this channel, upcoming, its
diameter. This one is actually larger and is 13 millimeters at its widest. Next, let's look at these straps. First obvious thing is that there is a little adjusting loop here on this strap, and there's 2 of them. There should only be 1. And it's not movable. So you cannot, I kind of wish they had another one. That would be actually kind of nice, but whatever. There should not be another one on here. It should just be stationary. So if we look on the back of these straps, you're gonna notice that there is a little piece of hardware actually holding this extra loop on there. That is a huge red flag. There should be no metal whatsoever on the back of the loop. Okay, that's about it for the strap. Next, let's move on to the tassels. Exposed screws are a huge giveaway for any designer, Gucci included. As you can see on the fake bag, there is an exposed screw. If you do see a screw on your Gucci tassel, make sure it's the correct one. So they did a really good job disguising this little screw. It has a slight indent in one of the decorative dots. This is what they used for the screw instead of an actual Phillips head screw. There should also never be a gap in the hardware loop where it connects to the bag. On the fake one, you can see there is a gap where the tassel could potentially fall off. On the authentic bag, the hardware is a complete circle with no notches, and the tassel will never fall off. The leather pieces of the tassel should also be super neat and clean.
I don't, it's a little bit of common sense when it comes to these things. And of course, like, knowledge and years of doing it. If you compare the hardware, would you be able to tell which one's fake? Probably not. They both have a stamp that says Louis Vuitton on both hardware. The D-rings are scary similar, like scary. The fake one is a little bit more oval, like outward, versus this one's more like perfect, more symmetrical. The side straps, they literally look almost the same. Almost. The replica has the stamp of the little lines way too hard. Versus on the authentic one, so bright. This is the replica. You can see the little stripes. There's the authentic one. You see how it faded over time wearing it? So, hopefully this video was helpful for you guys. Don't get caught in buying a fake. Do your homework. If you guys have any questions, if you're trying to buy locally, send us pictures. We'll help you authenticate your bag for free. Send us pictures on Instagram. We'd be more than happy to help you guys out. They're scary. They're so scary to like. Look at that. Sorry about my dog, she's barking. I think it's pretty scary. And this one